Hey everyone, I'm Ben and this is Counterfeit Christianity. This is another episode of Christians Make Everything Shit. I've got a couple of clips that I found. I'm trying to find more, so if you guys have any and you want to send me some Christian clips and I'll make some comments on it, make sure you send them over to me. This first clip is a really interesting one.
The cold hard truth, I gotta give it to you. So don't tear up.
Oh God, are you gonna? I already know where it's going.
The type of men that you want won't want you. The men that actually understand their value and understand women, these men look for certain types of characteristic traits in a woman. They look for a virtuous woman. And the OnlyFans would disqualify you from a huge majority of those men.
I go to church. I read the Bible. I pray to God. Listen, I have a conversation with God every day. He knows why I'm doing it.
You still throw the OnlyFans up there like, God,
well,
my booty.
Well, can I?
So yeah, this is an interesting one, isn't it? I think there's a few different aspects to this that we could have a look at. So for the girl, I feel sorry for her because she thinks that God is, I go to church and I read the Bible, and therefore it makes everything good. But the relationship with God is what actually makes everything good. And I think that God would understand whatever she feels like she has to do, and a Christian would say, well, you're burning in hell for this. You're burning in hell for doing OnlyFans. But I don't believe that that's who the true living God is. I understand him, and he loves everybody the same way that he loves me, and I know what that feels like. But the Christian God, as we've talked about in the past, is actually Baal, and Baal wants people to be afraid. I feel sorry for her because she talks about the reason that she's okay is because she goes to church and reads the Bible. But then she talks about having a conversation. I think that's pretty cool. And she said that God's okay and he understands that part of her life. That's probably true. She probably is having a conversation with him. And as she comes closer to be with him more and more, she might flow away from doing this stuff. God won't forsake you for the things that you do or have done, but the world will. So all these things that she does in her life might come back to haunt her. But God also makes everything evil into good as well. So who knows? The journey that we have with God brings us to these really amazing places that is unfathomable for the everyday person. It's really like most Christians would never understand that because they don't know God's heart. Decisions that we make do follow us through life, but God also can make evil things in our life become really good, and sometimes they become the best part of our lives. So that's sort of my perspective on this. God sees us all with absolute love, as a father sees his son, as a father sees his daughter. So that's my perspective on this, and I know Christians will hate it because they want to condemn everybody as they condemn themselves because they don't understand the true living God.
Young man, take your time to find a wife. Don't get in a hurry. Stay off porn. Resist being lazy. A good husband is a man who is a good protector, a good provider, and a good pastor to his home. So get up, get courage, and get out there and do the job you need to do to be what you ought to be for your family. And take your Bible to be your life coach. It'll help you to love your wife like you're supposed to and how to raise your children properly. The Bible is your guide for life. Now go be the man you ought to be.
Yeah, so this one's another interesting one, isn't it? Because he says a lot of good things here, but he also says a lot of really evil things that are disguised in the background. And it's really interesting, right? I can tell this guy's a pastor because he uses churchy language. Just churchy language is always a facade. It's evil. They always use these words like pastor your family. Like, no, fuck off. Stop speaking in Christian words. It's evil. Just say things plainly like a normal human. Me and Sam have been in institutional church for a long time, and they love this sort of language. Instead of saying things straight, they don't. They always come around from the back, and they use everything to tie you up in knots, so you don't understand what's actually happening. This pastor is using Christianese. He says a lot of good things, and there's a lot of truth in there. But then he also slides in some death, some evil in the back there. All of these things, like leading your family in a good way, being with them relationally, authentically is great. But that can only flow out of a relationship with God. You can't force yourself into it by worshipping the Bible, like he said. Make the Bible your God. Wow, that's evil. That's really evil. But that is the way that all Christians see the Bible. They see the Bible as their God. A lot of people would just see this and be like, oh, that's good. Christian people love this sort of talk. They love it so much. Yeah, it makes them feel good because it can say, oh, I read the Bible. Oh, that means I'm doing the right thing with God. Actually, it's all a lie. The only thing that can make your relationship with your family good is a relationship with your daddy, a real authentic relationship in conversation with him, where he will respond to you and tell you how to go through life. But if you try and model everything off the Bible, well, what would Jesus do? I'll try and figure out that, and then I'll do that. That's a Christian lie. That's fucking disgusting. It's funny because the OnlyFans girl that I showed before actually has more understanding of the true living God than this pastor. This pastor is spitting death, while this OnlyFans girl looks ridiculous, doesn't she? She looks stupid and evil. And she might be doing stupid things, but we all do. And it's like God sees us as his children. And then it's this guy who puts himself in the position of a teacher who spits evil. Put the Bible as your God. It sounds like a lot of hard work to me. I'd rather be in relationship with God and he can flow me through all the hard things in my life, so I don't have to try and figure things out like he wants you to do. So yeah, steer clear of this. It's really nice feeling things that Christians like to say, but the undertone is evil, the undertone is death, the undertone is a cult. It's the death cult of Christianity. This is 2 videos. I think they're really cool contrasting videos of someone who might be in a relationship or is on a journey with God and looks really bad, but then there's this guy that looks really good and is telling you the right things to do. Listen to me and you'll be okay. We want you to find a relationship with the living God, be with him, and he will tell you and lead you in your own life. It's a nasty little trick, and it's a nasty little trap that Christians like to play. So anyway, like and subscribe, all that sort of good stuff, so you can see all the next videos that come out. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Thanks. See ya.